Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Divine Dojo. My name is Gabriella and I'm here to do your reading for July 1st through the 6th. Sorry about that. I had to put my computer down, my laptop down. I guess I'm not fully prepared, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it because that's we're gonna do it. I think last week too, something was up in your, with your reading. I had a couple interruptions, so I do apologize, Sagittarius. It's not that I don't care. It's just that, we gotta roll with the things that happen. I have a dog. We can't be perfect in life. So let's start by clearing the energy. And if you want to take a nice deep breath in and release it every time I ping the tuning fork and clearing fork, please go ahead and do so. I'm going to do that now. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Last time. Releasing all the negative energy stuck in our system and at least just grounding ourselves with our breath for a little bit. So this week, we're going to start July. Let's just go with July, but the overall is it's just going to be a lot of Gemini energy going on. We still have the sun in Cancer. Then eventually the sun will move into Leo towards the end of the month, I believe on the 22nd or 23rd. Like today, July 1st and 2nd, so the moon is in Libra, trine Uranus in Taurus. So if there are any adjustments that need to be made in anything that you have been working on, these couple of days are good to do that. These next few days, especially before the holiday. It's here in America, it's July 4th, Independence Day. So it's a big holiday here in the Americas. So what I was saying is that if there's any adjustments that need to be made, now is the time to do it because we are going to start getting into those retrogrades. But those adjustments that you do make can make big breakthroughs and or, give you epiphanies or like big aha moments on what, has not been working out or whatever, or, it can transform. So on July 4th, we have the moon in Scorpio, which is going to be a little bit more of an emotional, deep, transformative kind of moon energy, more in our emotions and stuff like that. That day, July 4th is actually a big day. Venus ingresses into Gemini, making our communication and love connections more intellectual, we're going to want more stimulation, during the Venus ingress into Gemini during that time period. So think about like Venus as like the social butterfly, right? So Gemini likes variety, Gemini is playful, Gemini likes diversity, the new, like new things. So more of a playful approach to our love and relationships. So there's that. On the moon is in Scorpio, still on the 4th and 5th, which is trining the sun in Cancer. So great time after the holiday to, get some rest, relaxation, good for creative endeavors, and like emotional healing and self-care. I'm so sorry. My dog is obsessed with the birds right now and she's going crazy. And she's just found a new obsession. It's my fault. I put her at the window and I'm to blame. I can't blame anybody but myself. I take full accountability for her. So let's keep going. July 6th, the moon moves into your sign, Sagittarius. So giving us a little bit more optimism, more spunk, more pep in our step, good for big ideas and creative inspiration. Oh, I forgot to say on the 4th as well, which is a big day, the Neptune retrogrades in Aries. So this is all about like dissolving illusions, are about our personality, our personality, our personal identity, our creative visions, our purpose, like wherever we're in denial and disillusionment, or like where we think, you know, one way about our identity, we might get some like new insight into ourselves. So that's a good transit. I forget how long the that Neptune retrograde is, but anyhow. And we are currently in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, which I believe will go retrograde July 17th. Okay, so then the 6th, the moon moves, like I said, into your sign. Venus in Gemini forms supportive sextiles with Saturn and Neptune. So that's a good day on the 6th to be creative, get some work done, and, you know, put into action your new ideas or creative ideas. And then on the 7th, Uranus in Taurus moves into Gemini. So like I said, there's gonna be a lot of air and fire energy, and that works for you, Sag. So let's see what's going on. I want to pull a catalyst card. So we're going to invite Spirit in to help us help me get you a clear message, a clear and concise message for this week, and help you for your best and highest good of the Sagittarian collective. All right, Spirit, what do you have to say to Sagittarius for this week? What is the catalyst card for them? I'm going to take this solo one, the Maiden. And excuse me if I'm like snorting, because I do have allergies. So I love the Maiden. Maiden is like that that young, youthful energy, a little bit more carefree, a little bit more wild, you know, than the mother, and then, you know, the crone. So it's the Maiden, the mother, the crone as the female archetypes, or the seasons that we go through as the feminine, in the feminine. And this is just energy as well. So this is great because this is that like young, youthful, wild, free type of energy that we have when we are, you know, younger. But also, you know, the reversal side is like not knowing ourselves, you know, as well as like when we get older. So, you know, just be mindful of that energy. That's like the opposite side of it. But, you know, you do want to embrace that wild and free maiden energy of, you know, like this is that Venus and Gemini, you know, that like playful spirit, right? I like that for you, Sag. Right. What do you have to thank you? Yeah, I mean, look. I love how spirit works. Callie, behave, Callie. You have the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine energy right here. So this is beautiful. So the sun and the moon, I love it because it's showing me that you're active, you're playful, you're in that childlike spirit, like this child is naked on a horse, right? Living life, but you're also balanced in your emotions and your intuition, in your dreams, you know, and you just want to make sure, because of this Gemini energy coming in and a lot of mental stimulation and mental chatter that we're going to have in our heads and in society and in America here with the social, with the holiday it's not a long weekend, I don't think, but I think 4th of July is Friday. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of stimulation out there. So just make sure that you're not like anxious, fearful, or whatever happens when you get stimulated in your mind. So, I like this. What else do we have? What is this about, Spirit? Yeah, you have the Page of Swords. Again, new ideas, curiosity. Something's, you know, you're thinking about something that you want to do. And this week is a good time before the full-on retrograde start to do it. So this one came out first. So yeah, so the so you got the Page of Swords, and then the Ace of Swords reversed, and then you have the Five of Cups reversed. So we have more of that mental air energy. We have the Page of Swords with this just air energy, and then the fire energy. Yeah, and with the mental chatter, you might be thinking, you know, you have this great idea, this, you know, you have clarity on what you want to do next, but you might doubt yourself, right? Because your mind is like racing with possibility of excitement, anxiety, fear, you know, maybe a combo of both of them. And you gotta accept that you have those fears and anxieties, and move forward with your plans anyways. You know, just again, be very realistic and methodical about it, because maybe you have had some like setbacks in the past, and your fear and anxiety might, you know, from like stuff from the past might be bringing up this kind of like hesitation. So yeah, you find peace with like, okay, this is just mental shit. This is like anxiety. I'm getting anxiety. Like I started to feel like heaviness in my chest. Like you saw that big breath that I took. Like I'm starting to get anxiety, and I don't suffer from anxiety. I'm pretty clear about my shit. So, yeah, I'm starting to feel like a heaviness on my chest, and it's just like having to take a breath and, you know, recognize, going back to what I was saying with the maiden, you know, the maiden it's a beautiful energy with this, you know, with the young, wild, free, carefree, loving, you know, like just going with the flow and going with the wind and everything. But remember, she also has lessons to learn because she's in that younger energy, right? How do you learn? From mistakes in life. You know, you learn from doing the thing, right? And you learn as you go. That's what life is about. So, don't let the past failures, the past what we think are failures, you know, they're not failures, they're just lessons. It's whether or not you have learned the lesson and have trust in yourself to understand the patterning or your fears and anxieties as they come up, and like accept it, and like, okay, this is just my mental shit. How do I snap myself out of it, right? So you got to figure out a way. Everybody's going to be different on how they handle fear, anxiety, stress, all of that type of stuff. So that's up to you. Yeah, and I think it is that, like what I'm talking about, you got I just pulled, and you got shuffled, and you got the Wheel of Fortune reverse, right? So I feel because of these past situations that you fear that the same shit's gonna happen, or the bad luck is gonna come back in, or, you know, it's stopping you from embracing like this new energetic energy or opportunity or whatever, or new idea that's coming in. So and maybe it feels like you can't control it, or you can't control your mental chatter. So, but this is about, you know, the Wheel of Fortune reverse is about breaking cycles, but you have to be willing to change and move past that like fear and anxiety, and know that it's just in your head, you know. So yeah, because you have the Two of Cups, you know, which can be, again, a new opportunity. It can be, you know, somebody's coming in with a cup of love, and maybe you've had, you know, we've all had, but you've had some bad shit happen in relationships and you just don't trust, right? So, but this can be like a connection, and you know, your new idea is like, you know, you have to have a partner, and, you know, and like you, or whatever, right? Take it for how it's going to be different for everybody. So I think if you keep on with the mental thing, the anxiety and like ruminating in your head, you know, you will be delayed on it, because this does want to come through in fast, right? Fast communication, fast action will need to be taken, but because you're in doubt, fear, anxiety, it might be delayed. So, and you know, what we think happens. So, you know, you want to be more of this energy of the Nine of Cups. He's an emotionally balanced Nine of Cups, right? He's like content, he's happy, he's secure in himself, he's chilling the fuck out. He's just like, I'm chill, you know, like I understand. What is the advice here? What is the advice here? Seems like more of an opportunity than love, but you know, you can never. Yeah, put that shit behind you and release it. Release it. Find a way this week to release that fear, anxiety, self-doubt, negative self-talk, whatever, right? What is the advice? That's way too many. Yeah, because you are the magician. You have everything that you need to move forward and put action into your manifestation. The manifestation will come in, but it needs self-confidence, willpower, you know, like putting work into like not being in fear and anxiety and, you know, all of that type of stuff. Because then you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, he's reversed. And again, it's like brings back to that lack of confidence to me, and self-limiting beliefs, you know, and maybe this idea or this project or whatever is new, and so you don't trust yourself that you have the capacity or you know, the tools or wherewithal to accomplish it, but you do. You just have to believe in yourself. What is the final message for Sagittarius here? Yeah, you need, this one wanted to come out too, so I'm going to do it. You need to trust yourself, trust your feelings, and come back into balance in your emotions, and don't let fear, anxiety, all of that like rule you, right? Because you have the King of Cups, you have the two kings. You need to be in this king energy in terms of your emotions and your actions. You know, they need to be aligned, and the mind can't take over, right? So yeah, because this, what does it say? It says the King of Wands, it's like natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, overcoming challenges, mature. The King of Cups, it's emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic, control, supportive, tolerant, empathetic. And then we got the High Priestess reverse again. Trust your intuition, you know? And I feel like it's because I don't think this is like current energy. I feel it's because of past energies that you just don't trust it. So that's that. All right. Yeah. I mean, you got good things, you know, coming in. You just have to master yourself, really. Your mental energy, your anxiety, your all of that, right? My dog finally calmed down. Thank God. So dramatic. I saw soulmates at the bottom. Soulmates. All right, Sagittarius. I'm hoping that it's helpful. I'm just going to pull a few more messages and then read the maiden. And we'll call it a day, I hope. If you've gotten this far, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And do tell me what this is about. Come to the edge, my friend. If we stay the same, if we let the fears, anxiety, the past kind of dictate like our future behavior, and we don't overcome the fears, the anxieties, all of it, we're just going to stay stuck. So it says, come to your edge and, be that magician and act like the fool, act like the maiden, right? Of the wild and free spirit. I love it. Yeah, that, oof. Tap it out. Anyways, thank you. Yeah, the fates. It did come upside down. So, maybe there is love coming in, but, it doesn't necessarily, this isn't necessarily about love, but, have faith in yourself. Have, chase your dreams, chase your passions, chase your destiny. And, yeah, and I love how this chick, right, this girl is like dancing, and she's throwing like little hearts everywhere. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's like hearts everywhere, and she's like carefree, and she's dancing on the edge, and she's not afraid. She's just like in pure bliss and like loving life, right? And I love how this one, she's like hugging herself. It's about really having self-trust and trusting, in something new, that it won't end up in like something that has happened in the past. You might get anxiety, but who is going to be able to change it? The only one that's going to be able to change any of that patterning is you. Those behaviors is you. Yes, you can't control how people behave or whatever, but if somebody's coming in or an opportunity is coming in, but you're stuck because of fear, anxiety, and like of things that has happened in the past, you need to trust yourself and love yourself through the fear and anxiety, and tell yourself that it's going to be okay. It's just an old pattern that's trying to creep in and take over, right? Let's see what else. Oh, just gave me like a freaking vertigo or something. That was really weird. All right, last few messages, and we'll read the maiden. All right, what do you got for Sagittarius spirit? Oh, I'm gonna have to do some like breath work or chanting. Yeah. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Divine. Thank you. See? Spirit doesn't lie. Remain positive. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Parent yourself through this, like really like, I don't know how else to say it. Parent yourself through the feelings. Give yourself that fucking pep talk that, you wish somebody would give to you. You do it to yourself, like, yeah. And communicate clearly. It's okay to communicate your fears to people, it doesn't make you weak to be vulnerable and communicate those things. Yes, some asshole could use it against you or whatever, but trust yourself to not be around like that type of person, hopefully, you know. I'm gonna pull an angel card and sorry, there's like some random, like I can see the whole neighborhood, not the whole neighborhood, but like a good portion of the street here. And 5555, clarity. And that's what it is. It's that mental chatter. You gotta sift through that mental chatter and get centered into yourself and love yourself through the anxiety, through the fear, and yeah, and you'll have clarity, you know, you'll be clear. So it says you're not a victim of circumstance. You are a beneficiary, enriching your life experience. By embracing and adapting to change, you're setting yourself for long-term success. Trust that everything is unfolding for the best. You are achieving your goals, and everything will work out perfectly in the end. And it will. It's up to you to change those, you know, that patterning. So that's what I got for you, Saggies. All in all, a great message of like really trusting yourself and you know, getting over your anxieties. So let's read the Virgin, the Maiden, the Virgin, the Princess, the Innocent. The Maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive. Because of her flawless and youthful glow, she is the first archetype in the trifecta of Maiden, Mother, and Crone. And rightfully so, because she has so much to learn. Yes. The Maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamored by the charms of youth. The Maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. And your rabbit hole seems to be that of self-doubt and like fear and anxiety, right? So let yourself fully feel those things, but like break the chain, break the habit, break the patterning by loving yourself, right? Fucking hell, like Spirit does not lie. I mean, this all matches. It's so amazing to me. I'm tearing up. I'm really tearing up because, wow. All right, Sagittarius, I'm really getting teary-eyed here. That was nice. I hope it works. Let me know. I'm here for you. Let me know. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'm here if you need. I love you all so much, and I wish you the best week ever.